Welcome back to part 7 of the Decluttering Master Class, Decluttering Your Home for Spring. I'm Amy Kennedy, Professional Home Organiser and Declutterer from the Organising Bee. Now we've set ourselves up and understand why we want to declutter, our goals and the function of the room. We've taken some before photos and now for the part that you've been waiting for, the gutsy bit. Let's start decluttering. Does this scenario sound familiar to you? Go to your spare room, stand at the doorway and say, "Today I'm going to tackle this room. Yep, I really am. I'm going to get there." You open the cupboard door, you look at it, you move a few things around, then you just stand there bewildered saying, "Oh my God, I just don't know where to start. It's all too hard." You close the door, walk away and think, "I'm just going to deal with that later." So if that sounds like you, it might be worth getting the help of a professional organiser like myself to be by your side and to support you through the whole process. We can keep the momentum going and can guide you. Decluttering can be overwhelming, especially if it's new for you. For this reason, I suggest starting small. One tiny space at a time. One drawer at a time. I'll continue with the bedroom as an example, but you can apply what I'm saying to any area that you're working on. Now, we're in our bedroom. Let's start. Let's start small. Let's start in a small little space. Let's say clear the top of your bed or the top of your bedside table. Pick up one item at a time and physically touch it and evaluate it. Why is it important to physically touch it? Because when we physically touch an object, we connect with it, and therefore it makes us easier to make a decision. It also gives us a chance to inspect it to see if it's broken or in need of repair. When you touch each item, think back to who you are or who you want to be, your goals and your objectives for decluttering to begin with. It's really easy to hold on to items because of guilt. Guilt because we spent a lot of good money on the item. Guilt because somebody that we love gave it to us. Guilt because you inherited it. Guilt because an object formed part of your past life and identity. Guilt because it played such a big and important part of your past and you fear that if you let go of it today, you may lose that memory. But my suggestion is when it comes to guilt, just stop and think about your life now. Think about your life today. And if you're not living the life you want to live, think about the one you plan to be living. And ask yourself, is holding on to this item going to improve my life in any way? Or is it holding me back? Be honest with yourself. If you went into the shop today, would you buy it? Another reason that we hold on to things is just because. Just because we might need it one day. In all honesty, if you haven't used the item in the past 12 months, you're not going to. You probably won't even remember that you have it. And if you do need it, are you going to remember that you have it? And are you going to hunt through your whole house just to find it? It depends on the value of the object, but in most cases the answer is probably not. It is easier and quicker for you to head out to the shops and buy a new one. There are some obvious exceptions to this. Say it was your great-grandmother's watch or your grandfather's war medals, but in most cases we just don't need to hold on to so much stuff. Be honest with yourself. Holding on to it, if you really don't need it, is only going to make your life more difficult. If it's something that you know that you don't need, but simply can't bear to get rid of. Remove it from your everyday living space. Grab yourself a big tub and a fancy box and create a memory box. A safe place to keep all your sentimental items, the items that are dear to your heart. And store them at the top of your cupboard, in a spare room, or somewhere where they're not cluttering your everyday living space. And you can do the same for everyday items too. Those items that you don't use, but you just can't bear to get rid of today. Put them in a box and store them in the garage or under the house. And if you haven't touched them or even thought about them in the next 12 months, it's time to let go of them. It's a sign that you definitely do not need them. Just remember to label the box to get rid of, so that you remember what's in the box when you rediscover it.